Hello guys, we are continuing the environment and ecology series which we had stopped I think 4 months back. So this is taken from various sources. Shankar IAS will be the primary source, then there will be NCERT, then there will be previous year papers, because environment questions come almost from here, the technical detailing, what is the static part, and the current affair, whatever natural parks or wildlife sanctuaries, those things which comes in the news, that is what is generally asked. Okay, the theory part is reducing every year, but this will be important for your mains also in GS3. That is why this series has to be watched seriously and has to be watched in order. So this is chapter 5, aquatic system. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4 is already done, and whatever terminologies we explained there, if it repeats in this chapter, I will not be explaining it. So please see to it that you watch the chapters in order. Please don't be a non-serious aspirant who simply watch whatever they like, whichever order they like. Please have a disciplined way of studying. And even after you watch the entire series, it's not guaranteed that you will get all the questions right in your exam, because you have to solve previous year papers and high quality test series to get the answers right. Okay, this will just give you the foundation for environment, and you will get familiarized with the terms. And again, when you watch chapter 1 to 4, there will be many test series, offers, mini packs, many things which was explained there, but all those things are expired now. These are those were designed for 2020 batch, and now it is over. Now for 2021, already new test series, 3 batches have been running. Third batch enrollment is almost closing, so go watch those videos. And this video also I'll try to show maybe some glimpse of that. And this will be done in, as you see, part 1. It will be done in 2-3 parts, because it's a very big chapter. You know, aquatic system, you have to study about lakes, rivers, wetlands, mangroves, corals. It's a very like huge topic from which a lot of questions comes. So I will be dividing into 2 parts. Today we'll see the basics and some pollution related things. Okay, eutrophication and such stuff. And this is the foundation videos which you have to watch. This playlist is there. The top first 12 videos I think is the most important one. After watching this, you will no longer call yourself a beginner. Okay, because I have this students messaging all the time telling I am a beginner, I don't know anything about UPSC. But when I give this video link, after a few days they again come back telling the same thing. Why? Because they did not take the links seriously. If you watch these videos, then you will never call yourself a beginner, and you yourself will be confident that you will be clearing prelims in the very next attempt. This is my guarantee, and it has worked every time. So please see to it that you listen to something or watch the videos which I give you. Okay, there is a YouTube channel, and we expect you to sit and watch the videos, not like expect some ready-made notes or something in Telegram groups or anything. We are not going to do any such sort. There will be no spoon feeding in this channel. This is the final proof video which was out. Again, the biggest success we had in the last 3 years. Every year we have been increasing from 35 questions, then 50 questions, now 59 questions. It is solvable from Vysh IAS test directly, and all the proof is completely given here. So if you are new to this channel, go and watch this video, which is there I think 2-3 days back only I posted. So please check my channel, and after this you will be convinced that whatever you were doing all the year last year, if you prepared, were the not right method to be preparing. Okay, you should prepare from the right sources. So please see this video and get back. And these are the latest videos, just the screenshot I took. Okay, so if you see the third last video is this proof video, and then we put the cutoff video, then we put the expected cutoff video. All those things are there. Please go and watch that. And this is the 2021 test series where 75 test is there. Okay, this will be holistic, and this will be completing your entire syllabus except for CSAT. We don't teach CSAT, because if you cannot pass CSAT, you are not even eligible to write this exam. Okay, because you blindly go and write, you will pass it. Just basic English and basic mathematics, they are not even mathematics, logical reasoning they are asking. So please see to it that you enroll to something holistic like this. Many other lectures are there: modern history, Lakshmikant Polity, economics, Ramesh Singh, medieval India is halfway done, R.S. Sharma is complete. So whatever is incomplete, all those things will be continued in the coming weeks, but only subscribers will be able to watch the full video. Others who are watching this in middle, maybe the video will get paused, or maybe it will show like link not working. Something will happen, because we have set it such a way that only subscribers can watch the videos. Okay, these are again various playlists. And please subscribe, because only when you subscribe, people will understand that this channel is giving the most holistic way of teaching for UPSC for free. Okay. Now 2017 some questions simply before starting. This was useful this year also for exam, because they asked like which all national parks are there in the Kaveri basin. So that time Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve was one of the option, which is inside Nilgiri, which we already taught you, and Nilgiri is there in the Kaveri basin. That's how indirectly you could have solved this. Okay, already 2017 analysis is done. So this one answer is Satyamangalam. Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats meet at that place. Okay. And again, traffic, this was again a question 2017. Like it is a bureau under UNEP, that's a wrong statement. IUC and WWF, those are the 2 bodies which is involved behind this. And the mission is same as CITES. Okay, you know, CITES, CITES, CITES and traffic has almost the same mission. Okay, so that is why students were confused in the exam hall, but this is true statement. Okay, answer will be 2 only. Aquatic ecosystem, by the term itself you know ecosystem what it is. Go and watch the previous chapter. So aquatic ecosystem means where water is involved. Okay, water is the main habitat. So based on salt concentration, it can be divided into 2-3 types. So freshwater, freshwater aquatic system, meaning salt content of fresh bodies is very low, always less than 5 ppt, that's parts per thousand. Okay, by weight, parts per thousand, less than 5 means it's freshwater. Lakes, pond, pool, springs, streams, river. Okay, that doesn't mean none of these will have more than 5. There will be some cases where it is more than 5 also. That when we teach you lakes and all in detail, we'll see. Then brackish. Brackish means it will be between 5 to 35 ppt, like estuaries, salt marshes, mangrove swamps. Here and all, salt concentration will be little higher, okay, towards the coastal area. And marine will be outside the coastal area, that is the ocean and the sea water. There it will be above 35 ppt, okay, shallow seas and open ocean. So it's a very simple definition. Now we'll see different types of organisms which live in this kind of aquatic systems. So the theory is this thing: both flora and fauna, that is plants and animals, are classified on the basis of their zone of occurrence and their ability to cross these zones. Unevenly distributed, but can be classified on the basis of their life form or location. Okay, so basically these are 5 types. This is Vysh's revision chart. So Neustern, Periphyton, Plankton, Nectons and Benthos. Okay, next slide I'll teach you in detail, but this is the one liner if you want to by heart. That's why I tell revision chart is only for by hearting. So many students come and buy the revision charts alone and they think that they can solve every question, but that is not the case. Only if you study the proper theory first, then only this will help you memorize the things or recollect the things which you already studied. Please don't use revision chart as a source of study. This is only for the last minute revision, okay, for by hearting. So Neustern is what? It is unattached organisms which live at the air-water interface, such as floating plants. Okay, meaning it is like floating and it is in the air-water interface. It is unattached to anything. So it will not have a control of itself. It will be like going here and there based on what the current or tide carries it. Then next one is, okay, examples are there. Water striders, which is on the top of the water air interface. You will see like insects kind of thing walking on the water, that is water striders. Then beetles and back swimmers beneath the air water interface and obtain most of their food within the water. Okay, so they are just below the air water interface. Then periphyton. Okay, phyto term, whenever you see it's related to plants. Okay, so it remain attached to stems and leaves of rooted plants or substances emerging above the bottom mud, such as sessile algae and their associated group of animals. Okay, why I'm giving you examples is because earlier in the 90s and all, UPSC used to ask match the following, right? Left side they'll put these terms, right side they'll put this insects and algae and all. So just study these examples because it's textual thing. Textbook, whatever is given, at least that you should know. Plankton, where phytoplankton is there, zooplankton is there. Okay, phyto meaning the plants one, zoo meaning it's the animal one. So microscopic things it is, and algae is the phyto type, and crustaceans and protozoans are the animal type, and it is there in all aquatic ecosystem. Okay, except for certain swift moving waters. Then the locomotory power of the plankton is limited, meaning its movement is limited. It's not like it's like a fish or something where it can go wherever they like. Their distribution is controlled largely by currents in the aquatic ecosystem. Now Necton, these are the active swimmers. Okay, animals which are swimmers, relatively large and powerful as they have to overcome the water currents. Range in size from the swimming insects about 2 mm long to the largest animal, the blue whale. Benthos. Okay, benthos, B bottom. Okay, B like that you remember. Benthos means living in the bottom at the lower level. So practically every aquatic system contains well developed benthos. Okay, because they are at the bottom means for them sunlight may be not that important. Oxygen anyway will be there in the if it is a clear water. So they are there in almost every type of aquatic ecosystem. So these are the basic 5 types which UPSC used to ask a lot of questions. Now it is reduced, but we cannot stop studying this. Now the factors limiting the productivity habitats. Okay, sunlight and oxygen is the main thing which you need for surviving in an aquatic ecosystem. Another thing is moisture and temperature, which is in the terrestrial ecosystem, which we already did in the last chapter. Okay. Now, sunlight penetration rapidly diminishes as it passes down the column of water. Depth to which light penetrates a lake determines extent of plant distribution. How much ever sunlight is reaching to the bottom level, that much plant distribution you can see. Now the levels, okay, the main upper level is photic or euphotic or lighted up. All these things are referring to the same thing, okay, where light is there. Upper layer of the aquatic ecosystem up to which light penetrates and within which synthesis and respiration activity is confined. Okay, respiration also happens, photosynthesis also happens because sunlight is also there, oxygen is also there. Okay, now the depth of this zone depends on the transparency of water, meaning if pollution is less, if there is no much mud or fertilizer or something is not there, water will be clear, so more sunlight can go deeper. So that's how the depth is determined. Well mixed portion that extends from the lake surface down to where the light level is 1% that of the surface, meaning they are telling the range from where to where, from the top level and to the level where the sunlight level is 1% of what was there on the surface. That full range is called photic or euphotic zone or lighted up zone. Okay, the very, very basic things. That's why I'm reading very fast. Now, aphotic zone, which will be obviously the opposite of that. So, lower layers where light penetration and plant growth are restricted. Only respiration activity takes place, because here light is not there. So, photosynthesis cannot happen very actively. Position below the littoral and photic zones to bottom of the lake where light levels are too low for photosynthesis. So, the littoral and all I'll show you. Okay, diagram I'll show you. Respiration occurs at all depth. So, the aphotic zone is a region of oxygen consumption. Okay, because at the down, as I told, respiration happens in every level. So, in the bottom level, only respiration happens. So, that is why oxygen consumption happens there at a very high rate. This deep unlit region is also known as profundal zone. Okay, like you read here, photic, euphotic, lighted up is one zone, then aphotic, and to the bottom profundal zone. This is how the namings are, naming convention. So if you need to arrange it from top to bottom, bottom to top and all, this is the order. Now this is the picture for and this is called snippet card. Many people ask me what is snippet card. Snippet card is again a what is the next level of revision chart. In revision chart still more detailing will be there, and snippet card is designed just for you to by heart, meaning there will be pure tricks given. Like here, if you want to study BPL, okay, benthic, profundal and limnatic. Benthic, I told you, it is the bottommost. Then this profundal zone is there, limnatic where light is there, and littoral is this what is it, the area where this land and water is merging. Okay, this area where plants are there like this. So BPL, if you study from bottom to top, the order is by hearted. So just for by hearting, but the definition of what is benthic, what is profundal, what is limnatic, it will not be there in snippet card. So snippet card is for your ultimate by hearting. And 2018 or 19, I think at least 13 to 14 questions were solvable only from my snippet cards. 50 snippet cards were given to the batch, and this year's batch they will be getting 60 snippet cards. Okay, every year will be increasing. Next year I am targeting more than 100 of these. Okay, based on the factual amount of learning you need to do. Okay, so moving on, dissolved oxygen. Okay, from which also many questions come. Okay, biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, which we already taught you in the previous chapters, but some more detailing we'll see. So levels change through interface and photosynthesis. Because you know, oxygen, how can they have first you think like that, like oxygen, how can it enter water? Either through the atmosphere, air water interface, oxygen can come, or when photosynthesis is happening, the plants will take in carbon dioxide and leave out oxygen. So these are two methods. So based on that, the level changes, the dissolved oxygen level changes. Okay, interface and photosynthesis. In fresh water, the average concentration is 0.0010%, that is 10 parts per million. Okay, 10 ppm. Okay, before in previous slide you saw ppt. Okay, parts per thousand. For salinity, 5 to 35 and 30 above 35. Same right here, parts per million. This is the oxygen amount in fresh water, the oxygen amount, which is 150 times lower than the concentration of oxygen and equivalent volume of air. Meaning air in that much area, 150 times more oxygen will be there, but in water it is very less compared to that. When the dissolved oxygen level falls below 3 to 5 ppm, many aquatic organisms are likely to die. Okay, so 10 ppm is like what is expected in fresh water, and if it's reducing to 3 to 5 ppm, then animals cannot survive there. Transparency affects the extent of light penetration. Suspended particulate matter such as clay, silt, phytoplankton, etc. make the water turbid. Okay, if these things are there, the light penetration will obviously be a problem. Okay, so the photic zone will be lesser if it is not much transparent. Temperature is also another factor. Oxygen is less soluble in warm water. Okay, so this is an important factual thing you should know. UPSC has this habit of asking these kind of things. So oxygen is less soluble in warm water. So the opposite will be true. Oxygen is more soluble in cold water. Okay, if it's a cold water, more oxygen will be there. Warm water also enhances decomposer activity, meaning already oxygen is less soluble, and if it is warm water, the decomposer bacteria and all will be working more, and therefore increasing the temperature of a water body increases the rate at which oxygen is depleted. So more warm water, the less will be the oxygen. Okay, water temperature changes less rapidly than the temperature of air, because water has a considerably higher specific heat than air. This is again a science type of question which UPSC can ask. Okay, like this year they asked about plant membrane and animal cell wall, cell membrane and all. They can maybe ask about this thing, specific heat. It's a concept which you study in your school level. So water has considerably higher specific heat than air, meaning larger amount of heat energy must be added to or taken away from water to raise or lower its temperature. Okay, meaning the range will be almost similar all the time. Since water temperature are less subject to change, the aquatic organism have narrow temperature tolerance limit. So more threat to organism. Hope you understand this. Okay, it needs a huge amount of some external thing, heatness or hotness or coolness to come in, so that some change happens to the water. It's not like air where suddenly when the sunlight increases, air will get heated up. Water needs more amount of heat. So the range is very less. Narrow temperature tolerance limit. The animals are not used to extreme changes because they are always seeing almost the same kind of climate. Okay, so climate means the surroundings, I'm telling, the water temperature. That is because of the higher specific heat of water. So it's a science term. Please understand the meaning of it. Now lakes. Okay, you saw the basics now. Now we'll see lake ecology. Standing water body generally large enough in area and depth irrespective of its hydrology, ecology and other characteristics. Okay, so it's a standing water body. Okay. Now origin to death, how it is. Like origin, it will be by geological and geomorphic event. Okay, meaning geological means earth related movements and geomorphic means the physical movements which happen in the over time, like here modified morphologically. Okay, geographical physical changes which happens, and lakes a lifetime it can be going like this and finally it will die out. Okay, so it receive water from where? Either surface runoff or the groundwater discharge. Two types from where it can receive water. Aging occurs. When aging occurs, it will accumulate mineral, organic and chemical substances, okay, before it dies out. And there are these natural lakes. Okay, natural lakes are where? It's there in the Himalayas, it's there in the floodplain of Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, and even Deccan also to be there, but it will be limited. And 2018 or 19, I think a question came, they gave 4 lakes, okay, simply randomly 4 lakes, and they asked which of the following is a artificial lake. And there the answer was Kodaikanal Lake, which is in Tamil Nadu. So that is an artificial lake, and other 3 options are now natural lake. So you should study that because UPSC will definitely repeat that other 3 options in some other form in the next year. Okay. So man-made lakes were there. Many people from the king time, like Mauryan Empire time onwards, they are building artificial lakes in mostly in the arid regions, Western India, Peninsular India and all, because their water is less. So they need artificial man-made lakes. So oldest man-made lake is the Sudarshan Lake, which you are studying in your history also, which is in Gujarat, Girnar. This was actually asked this year. Okay, Girnar is what we taught, but in UPSC question paper they put Girinagar. Okay, Girinagar and Girnar are the same place. Okay, it's the same location, but some students did not were not able to interpret it, so they did not mark it true. Okay, match the following came: Girnar, Gujarat, Girinagar, Gujarat. Both are same. So this was actually built in 300 BC, which is the Chandragupta Maurya time. Okay, very old lake it is. And you would have studied about this in the Junagadh rock inscription where Ashoka's things are mentioned, and also Rudradaman I. Okay, a Shaka ruler was mentioned. If I only taught you, I taught you in the ancient history chapter. So Rudradaman I repaired this lake. That is why you studied it. But the origin is actually very old. Okay, it's there since 300 BC. Rudradaman I is around 150 AD. Okay, and even Skandagupta. So all these things are mentioned in Junagadh rock inscription. Okay, this is again extra factual thing I am telling you, which you will not find in Shankar IAS. Then types, lakes types. Okay, like we studied freshwater, brackish and marine for the overall water system. For lakes it will be freshwater, brackish and saline lakes. Okay, based on same thing. Okay, same the salt content. Now types are based on nutrient level. Okay, there is oligotrophic, mesotrophic and eutrophic. Okay, from the name itself you will understand this is low nutrients, this is moderate and this is high nutrients. Okay, and majority are meso or eutrophic this thing. Okay, meaning most of the lakes have more nutrients. There are very less oligotrophic lakes in this world. Now eutrophia means adequate and healthy nutrition. Okay, just the term. So eutrophication in general, which is one of the most important topic of this lecture, addition or leaching of artificial or natural nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates through fertilizers, sewage, etc. from agricultural lands into lakes or rivers. Okay, meaning more and more nutrients through these fertilizers and all these things goes, and it becomes more higher than what it can handle. Okay, that is called eutrophication, and harmful effects are there, which I will teach you now. And also this year UPSC asked a question on fertigation. Fertigation is fertilizer plus irrigation, and the question was very tough also. 4 statements were there, and even now mentors are telling different answers for that, but we have to wait for the answer key. Okay, so maybe eutrophication is something which UPSC is not asking nowadays. Maybe next year they'll ask it. Okay, if any lake or something is in news. So this is the basic definition of eutrophication, adding nutrients into the water. Then algal bloom is there, which happens as a effect of eutrophication. Okay, and it finally leads to anoxia condition. Anoxia means devoid of oxygen. So indication is what? Indication is green algae and bacteria on the surface. You would have seen water bodies with green algae on top. That is meaning it has more unwanted nutrients in it, and then algae is growing in like too much multiplication level, like colonies after colonies is building up, and then it will become the transparency will go, and lake sunlight will reduce, and it will be overall harmful. Okay, lesser sunlight penetration, more algae grow and die, and when it die again decomposing will be there by the bacteria. That time it will consume more oxygen, so oxygen is going on reducing. Okay, it will become warm also. decomposing happens, oxygen dividing, and finally it will become anoxia condition. So this anaerobic condition, which is again no oxygen, causes more bacteria growth, which will harm the fish. Okay, and not only the fish, from fish it will move to other animals and then even humans. Okay, so removal of the nutrients from the lake, there are many methods which you have to simply by heart, so that if UPSC asks a question like which of the following are effective methods of removing eutrophication, okay, or preventing eutrophication, then you have to just by heart these points. Okay, flushing with nutrient poor water, okay, meaning non-nutrient water, flush it too much into the that kind of lake. Then deep water abstraction, on-site P elimination by flocculation. Flocculation is just like making all the bacteria kind of thing, or this algae kind of thing to come together into like clogging kind of thing. Everything will come together into blocks, and then that they can be easily filtered out. Okay, so that thing is called flocculation. Okay, you don't have to worry about it, but just by heart this. Okay, P elimination. Then this floating plant in a sea with adsorbents. These are just given in some textbooks, that's why I mentioned. Then on-site algal removal by filters and P adsorbers. Okay, all these are doing what? It is simply taking out the extra nutrients. So if these terms come in your options, all these will be true. On-site algae skimming and separator thickening, artificial mixing, destratification, which can be permanent or intermittent, harvest of fishes and macrophytes, sludge removal. So all this, if you see, it's all removal kind of things. You have to remove or filter the nutrients out of the thing. So if these terms, if you see, don't think like nobody taught you. These are there in standard textbook and it will be all true. Okay. Now there are point sources and non-point sources. Okay. So point sources means nutrient waste travels directly from source to water. Okay, we know that like one point it is coming from one industry, it is coming, or from one place it is coming. So that is easy to regulate and control. Non-point sources means from various places it is coming, and it's all mixing and coming. Agriculture waste is coming, industrial waste is coming, or so many things are coming. We don't know the sources properly. So that is non-point source. It will vary spatially and temporarily and are difficult to regulate. Okay. And this already a mains question has come about this. Okay, now what is the effect of all this algal bloom and all these things? Eutrophication eventually creates a detritus layer in the ponds and lakes and produces successively shallower depth of surface water. Eventually, the water body is reduced into marsh, whose plant community is transformed from an aquatic environment to recognizable terrestrial ecosystem. Okay, it will become a marsh kind of thing. The water body will not be having high quality water. Some algal blooms, when die or eaten, release neuro and hepatotoxins, which can kill aquatic organisms and pose threat to humans. Okay, like shellfish poisoning. If we consume shellfish in those area, collected from those area, it can harm the humans also, because the entire food web is getting destroyed. Now, loss of coral reefs, decrease in water transparency and increasing turbidity, affecting navigation due to increased turbidity. Then color can be yellow, green or red. Okay, we told green thing is there, like yellow is there, red is there, based on the different types of algae. Okay, and different smell will be there, water treatment problems will be there. So many things happens as a result of these things. Increased biomass of inedible toxic phytoplankton. Okay, the phytoplankton which are there, which usually maybe people consume or animals consume, that also will be now toxic. Increase in bloom of gelatinous zooplankton. Increased biomass of benthic and epiphytic algae. So everything, okay, this epiphytic I have already explained in the previous chapter. So everything will be getting affected. Okay, from the plants to the fishes to the animals to the humans. Now, last topic, red tides. Okay, red tides and harmful algal bloom. This is something which UPSC have asked already, so you should know. It's same thing, but in the extreme format. And one thing, this tides, it's like the naming convention. Even if it's a green algae, if it's a brown algae, still people generally call it red tides. Okay, but it is not tides, and it is not always red, and it is not always harmful. It's just a general naming convention people use whenever algal bloom happens. So mostly it is red or brown, and some of them produce toxins. So when it produces toxins too much, and it makes organisms ill or kill them, then it is called harmful algal bloom, which is again an environmental term. Okay, HAB, harmful algal bloom, means it is crossed all limits and it can definitely cause illness or kill the people. Okay, kill even the fishes and people. So if air becomes harmful to breathe, meaning even the air near that, if you go to that coastal area, the beach area, then if this kind of blooming is happening, even the air will be very difficult to breathe, and it will be causing toxins to enter your body, and it will be harmful to you. It need not even discolor the water. Okay, because we tell red tides, it need not be like that. Maybe it's clear water, it's looking clear, but the toxins would have been added. Okay, discoloration don't happen, but still it is harmful. So don't always think that it has to be of some other color. Okay, color can be the same. Now, colonies built when nutrient concentration, salinity and temperature are optimal. Okay, the algal colonies, These are the conditions. Nutrients should be there, salinity should be there, temperature. When it is all their optimal levels, then this thing will happen. Harmful algal bloom will happen. Nutrient enrichment of water, especially phosphates and nitrogen. Affects life, fishing, tourism, etc. Eating shellfish in the area, breathing toxic air in the area. Okay, these are things which will cause. I already explained. Now, this is just a chart which I picked up from the internet about the oligotrophic lake and eutrophic lake, which you can itself answer, but just for your easiness I just put a picture. You see here definition: the lakes with a less nutrient content and clean water. Here the lakes with higher nutrient content and green colored water. Then here low concentration of all these things, but high concentration of oxygen. Okay, because it's clear water, more oxygen will be there. Here it is high concentration of fertilizers and all these things, but low concentration of oxygen. Then biological oxygen demand, I told you, here low, because there is no much demand for oxygen. We have enough oxygen, but here the demand is high, so high biological oxygen demand. Then here high penetration of sunlight, here low penetration of sunlight. Here no order as there is less decomposition, but here presence of order as there is high decomposition. Then it is not an indicator of pollution, but here when you see this green color thing and all these things, it is a direct indicator of pollution. Then algal bloom is absent, here algal bloom is present. Then quality of water, it is here cold and more dissolved oxygen, and it is colorless. Okay, more oxygen is there. Here it is hot, muddy, mostly green colored in nature. Okay, so these are general points from chart, and more points I have collected from various websites. So this is again the same thing. Here if you see, higher salt conductance is there in eutrophic. Here it is lower salt conductance. And this term, okay, hypolimnion, it means the bottommost layer of the water body. Okay, hypolimnion. So here oxygen will be absent at that level in eutrophic. Here oxygen will be present in the bottom layer. Okay, then remaining are simple things: nutrients, sunlight, algae. So this is just a summary, because more than this, if UPSC asks, then it will be difficult for everyone. But maximum what a person can teach you, I have taught you in this chart. Okay, so some facts we'll see and we'll wind up this session. So winter kill is one term mentioned in most of the textbooks. Like the snow cover of ice on water body can effectively cut off the light, plunging the waters into darkness. Okay, as I told, like we have pollution, there can be ice cover. So when ice cover is there, the sunlight will not go. Hence, photosynthesis stops, but respiration continues. Thus, in shallow lakes, the oxygen gets depleted. Okay, because new oxygen is not getting created, and all the animals will keep using the oxygen. It will get depleted, and then fishes die. But we will not know, because there is this snow cover. And once the ice melt, we will see a lot of dead floating fish. Okay, that is called winter kill. It's a term used in most of the European countries and all. So here bats. About bats, because this year they asked about elephants and all, maybe anything they ask. So bats are nocturnal mammals, meaning they will be awake at the night, and they are the second largest group of mammals after rodents. Okay, rodents like mice and all these things. This is just statements. Okay, because maybe what if they ask like they are the largest group of mammals, then it will be false. Okay. N testing, that is nitrogen testing, is a technique to find the optimum amount of fertilizer required for crop plants. Okay, it will reduce the amount of nitrogen lost to the surrounding areas. Okay, so this is again one term mentioned. So nitrogen testing, if it is just to find out the optimum amount of fertilizer required for crop plants. Okay, because I taught you many things like that P elimination and many things where you have to eliminate the nutrients. So N testing is also one method used. Then this Aminpur lake was in news since last 2-3 years. It's mentioned in textbook also. It's a 300-year-old ancient man-made lake. Okay, that you know, man-made lake in the western part of Hyderabad, Telangana. It is the first water body in India to be recognized as Biodiversity Heritage Site under Biodiversity Act 2002, and is the first biodiversity site to be approved in an urban area. So two things, it's important. It's a biodiversity heritage site. It's the first water body in India, and also it is the first in the urban area. Okay, first water body and first in the urban area. But what is this biodiversity heritage site? They are well-defined areas that are unique, ecologically fragile ecosystems, which can be terrestrial, coastal, inland water, and marine, having rich biodiversity comprising of any one or more of the following components. Okay, either richness of wild as well as domestic species or intraspecific categories. So India's first water and urban thing is this thing. Okay, Aminpur Lake. And elephants, already a question came that led by a female, that is there in textbooks also, but UPSC put even more GK this time. I've already explained it in my 2020 answer key video. Please go and watch that, because we cannot predict. Okay, maybe next year it'll be about rhinos, cheetahs, great Indian bustard. They can pick any animal and ask GK. Okay. But smart students should ideally skip those questions if you don't know, because that one question is not required for you to clear the cutoff, because we ourselves showed you more than 59 questions without including this kind of elephant question and all. So that means other 59 questions are there from where you can get the cutoff. So please don't attempt that kind of questions. So the next chapter, the part 2, part 3 will have wetlands, estuaries, mangroves and corals, which is again very important topics for you, and even the Ganga river. Okay, clean Ganga plan and national Ganga plan, many things are there. This question even the last time I showed you, try answering in comment section. Okay, it's a 2000 2017 or 18 question, one of the easiest question because options were designed like that. And this thing already in our revision chart we have covered. That also I'll show you. These are different revision chart. This is made from NCERT textbook. This is made from Shankar IAS textbook. Then this is again my own from different sources I made. And this was exactly asked. Okay, this question, this bioremediation is what exactly asked in that question. From this chart you can answer that. Then Kyoto Protocol summary from the COP3 when it started till COP21 Paris Summit. The entire story is written here in chart format. And the NX list, which was asked in 2014 or 15, I think, and this one was asked in 2019, I think, the 18, I think. This same thing. Whatever terms you see, this exactly left and right they put, and right side they put 3 different summit: Kyoto, Montreal, and something else. But all 3 are actually Kyoto. So answer was 1 only. Okay, so the direct question from this chart. And then these are the test series which we have. 4 environment tests is there, and each is based on different things. Like first test is based on terminology, ecology, environment, etc. Second is based on this flora, fauna, and here we can see protected protected sites, all the Ramsar sites. Then environment test 3 is based on the climate change and international summit. Environment test 4 is based on things which are not there in the first 3 tests, which will be more syllabus oriented and exam paper oriented. So you can, if you are interested, if you are a serious aspirant, ideally you should go for the full pack, which offer is running now, which will cover your entire syllabus of prelims. That is my guarantee, and questions will come from you from this. Your cutoff can be easily cleared if you do only my test series, but provided that you watch lectures and you do NCERTs and basic textbooks. Okay, not like you simply take a test series and by heart it. By hearting will not work in UPSC. That is proved already in the last 3 years. And environment alone, if you need, a mini pack is there where that 4 test 400 MCQs, then 40 revision charts of environment alone, and 10 snippet cards like you show example in this video. So that the mini pack is also there. So this is available, but any other thing which you saw in previous 3 videos, nothing is available. Okay, so I'll come up with the next lecture. WhatsApp for any enrollment for any foundational videos. Thank you and have a nice day.